We're used to watching the tennis in the sweltering sunny days of July, aren't we? It's going to be a very different situation on this rainy September day.
As you can see, Laura, the conditions are very, very difficult, and in fact they probably couldn't be worse for the first day of a Roland Garros tournament. It's incredibly windy, it's very wet, it's very cold. It's conditions that really don't fit to be playing tennis. And the symbol as well of what you were mentioning about a very strange atmosphere, about an unprecedented Roland Garros in 2020 is the fact also that there are going to be very, very few fans allowed inside the ground. Mid-August, organisers were hoping 50,000 people could be allowed in. Then it was 5,000, and then just last week, because of the health situation, the health crisis, that was reduced to 1,000 people, with a draw to see who would be able to keep their tickets. And just to show you how unprecedented this is, we're actually on the Avenue de la Porte d'Auteuil, which leads to Gate B of Roland Garros, which is just to my left, and it's just empty behind us. There's very, very few people lining up. There's no one that's been going in. Most people have already gone inside the ground to see the games that are due to start at 11. That's going to be pushed back because it is raining and the conditions won't be allowed for play. There is one new factor that will help things a little bit. That's the roof on the Cours Philippe Chatrier, on the centre court here in Paris. But of course, that means that only 4 or 5 games per day will be able to go ahead as scheduled. Very, very strange conditions, very difficult conditions this year so far.
Well, what about the action then, Simon? A lot of great games ahead over the next 2 weeks. Tell us what to look out for.
Well, let's focus on the men's draw first. Laura, difficult to look past Rafael Nadal. He'll be vying for a 13th title in Paris. He'll be vying to, of course, extend his own record. He missed out on the US Open because he didn't want to travel due to the coronavirus. He only made it to the quarterfinals of Rome, which was one of the only warm-up tournaments on clay. Clay, of course, Rafael Nadal's favourite surface. The man who won the Rome Masters, Novak Djokovic, #1 in the world, is of course one to watch. He was disqualified from the US Open in almost disgraceful conditions, but he'll be looking to come back really strongly and prove that he's still one of the best people in tennis on and off the court, Laura. That's very important. And of course, there's the new order of players. Dominic Thiem, who won the US Open, Alexander Zverev, whom Team beat in the final. They'll be trying to get closer to those stars, to the Djokovic's, the Nadals that have dominated world tennis for the past 15 years. Roger Federer is, of course, missing this year because he is recovering from knee surgery. If we look at the women's draw, Serena Williams, as you said, looking for a 24th Grand Slam title. That would be a record, and her power could actually be a real asset in these very difficult conditions. Simona Halep, the world #1 Romanian, is in action today on centre court. She'll be also one to watch. She won the tournament here in 2018. French hopes lie with Kristina Mladenovic, who's coming back in a run of form, but of course she's far off from showing her best so far. So very interesting, very open draw in the ladies' half of the tournament.
All right, great stuff, Simon. Thank you very much indeed. Simon Harding there, braving the rain at the Roland Garros tennis tournament, which kicks off today.